Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. How is everybody doing this morning? Welcome back to the Empower Her Experience Podcast. This is the place where healing gets real, y'all, and our growth is intentional, and self-discovery and self-reflection is a lifestyle. So today I am your host, the one and only Christy Copeland. So this morning, y'all, I want to start out by asking everybody a question. For those of you who are logging in to think about something before we get into today's topic, what is something that you are grateful for today? I wanted to ask that question because a lot of times we are looking at what's wrong, what's not going right. We wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and then it starts a trickle effect of our day. So when you tend to start the day off on a positive note, then your day begins to go in a positive direction. So I want to ask you today, what are you grateful for? I know what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning, and I'm grateful that I was able to move around this morning, and that I didn't get a bad phone call in the middle of the night. So I'm grateful for that. So that's something for you to think about today as you go about your day. So I'm waiting. I know some of y'all are gonna pop in, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into today's topic. And I want to start by asking you another question. Where are you living right now? Hmm, it's a good question. Where are you living right now? And no, I'm not talking about your address. I'm not talking about your zip code. I'm talking about the space that you've been operating from. The space that you've been operating from mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Where you been operating from? So many of us are overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted, not because we are doing too little, but a lot of times because we're doing too much. Yours might say you're doing too much, but we're doing too much in areas that we weren't ever meant to manage. Okay. It's not about the goals we're trying to reach. It's about areas that we were never meant to manage. Like we're carrying the weight of people's choices and carrying the weight of other people's reactions and expectations. And so I want to say, here's the truth. Like not everything in your life is yours to control. Mm, wow. Not everything in your life is yours to control. And so I want to share something that I used in counseling. There are three zones that we usually live in life. One is control. Mm. One is control. Another one is concern. And then another one is chaos. These are generally three zones we're going to live in life. And the problem is we generally confuse these three zones. And that's where a lot of the confusion comes in. We are you, and I want to say, are you living in control? These are the things you can actually manage, things that you can actually do something about. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Let me know who's on today. But these are some things you can actually manage. Or are you living in the concern zone? And this is where you're worried about things, but you're powerless to change them. Mm, man, that one's good right there. Or are you living in the zone called chaos? Oh, this is where your peace is gone, MIA, because you're trying to manage everything and everybody. Oh my goodness. So like if you feel your stomach drop a little bit, then maybe this episode is for you. So let's get into it, y'all. I am so ready to talk about this topic because I find this is something I have to talk about in counseling over and over with a lot of individuals because a lot of times we are struggling. We're struggling. It's like we're in a tug of war with different things in our lives. And the things that we're in a tug of war with are the things that we were never called to manage or never called to control. And if we just drop the rope on those things, then we would see a lot of our stress and anxiety and depression diminish. So I want to introduce you to this framework that I teach in therapy called the circle of control. So I want you to imagine these three circles. You have the inner circle, which would be the smaller circle. This is called control. This is the zone where your power tends to live. These are things you can directly manage, like your thoughts and your emotions and your reactions and your words and your boundaries, your efforts, and all of these things, your decision. This is the place where peace resides. Woo, anybody love peace? Somebody ought to type, peace lives here. Peace lives here. Peace lives in the control zone. This is where you have 100% authority in this space. Like nobody can take this from you unless you give it away. Oh my gosh. Nobody can take this from you in the control zone. Somebody ought to say, I ain't giving this away. I ain't giving this away. Not giving it away. So this is where if you know, this will be the small circle. And then we have the middle circle, y'all. This is the circle of concern. This includes like matters that things that matter to you, but you can't fully control them. Oh my gosh. You know, y'all, sometimes there are things. Hey, Miss Tyronda. Hey, Juanita. Hey, Miss Sherry. Hey, y'all. I can finally see the comments. I couldn't see them before. Good morning to you all. So the second zone is the concern zone. This is things that matter to us, but we can't fully control. This is like whether or not your grown child takes your advice. This is whether or not your spouse is willing or unwilling to communicate with you. This is the state of the economy or, you know, our government. Those are things we have concern about that we can't fully control. How other people perceive you, what they think about you, and what they say about you, or other people's relationships with other people, or whether your friend leaves a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship. We care deeply, but the news flash is these things are not within our control. And a lot of times, these are the things that we are trying to manage, and it's outside of our control. Woo-wee, that's good. And then we have that third circle, which is the outer circle. This circle is called chaos. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This circle is called chaos. Oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble today, y'all, but it's all right. We're going to help somebody today. This is called chaos. This is where you step out of your authority and into other people's business. And I'm not saying messy. I'm not saying that. But this is when we step out of our authority and into other people's business. This is where we're trying to fix people. This is where we're trying to control the outcome. This is where we're trying to prevent bad things from happening to other people because of their decisions. So managing other people's emotions and anticipating every possible scenario so that we can avoid feeling discomfort. Oh, wait. How many of us have found ourselves in this outer circle called chaos, where we're trying to save people from consequences? We're trying to keep somebody that went out and cheated on a family member that went out and cheated on their spouse, and we're trying to track them down and texting them and calling them, talking about where you at, you know, you about to get caught, you know, and all these things. We're trying to prevent things from happening. So now we have stepped out. I see you, Miss Sherry. Thank you for being honest. I done been here too. This is where we have gotten pulled out of that control circle, past the concern. Now we are living in chaos, y'all. Oh God, living in chaos where we feel like we're on a spinning plate, except the plate's on fire and you barefoot. Woo-wee. So somebody will put in chat, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm not gonna let nobody pull me into chaos. No more being pulled into chaos. All right, so let's get into it. I want to break down this even further by giving you some real life examples of living in each zone. And I kid you not, y'all, if you really take this to heart, this has been over the last year, this has really reduced my stress, my depression, feelings of depression. This has reduced anxiety for me and has really given me a lot of peace in life. It is that I am learning these zones and what's actually meant for me. So if you take this to heart, I've done it with a lot of clients who have really grown and have really, become better. So I want to break it down even further by giving you some real life examples of living in each one of these zones. Remember, we've got the control zone, concern zone, and the chaos. So in the control zone, what's actually yours to manage? These are things that are within your power. And those things are how you respond when somebody talk crazy to you. This is choosing to unplug from social media sometimes to protect your peace or just take a much needed break. This is setting a bedtime for you because you're exhausted, like not staying up all night long. Oh my gosh, this is a control zone. Come on, Christy. Go to bed at night. Setting a bedtime for yourself because you're exhausted. This is saying no to a request, even if other people are disappointed because you say no, or even other people expected you to be there, but you know that at this point you got to take care of you, so you can't be there. This is within your control. Another thing that's in this control zone, deciding not to argue with somebody who always wants the last word. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Deciding not to argue with someone who always wants the last word. That's within your control. Now, boo-boo, you got it. I ain't got nothing else to say. And then people try to bait you and pull you out of control in the chaos saying, you ain't got nothing to say because you know I'm right. No, it's not that I know you right. I'm not going to sit here and keep going around in circles with you, because at this point, we are not talking to understand. You just want the last word. Go, you got it. You got it. You got it. So I'm going to stay in my control zone and I'm going to decide I ain't going to argue with you today. I don't want that arguing. No more arguing. You got it. Somebody put you got it. You got it. You got it in the chat. You got it. So I'm going to live inside the control zone. Living inside of the control zone, it looks like I can't change how they treat me. I can't change how they feel about me, but I can control how I show up. I can control how I protect my energy. Ooh, wait. Come on now. Come on now. I can control how I protect my energy. You do know that, right? You got control over that. I got control on how I won't allow guilt to keep me in situations that drain me. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Wait, y'all. I can control me not feeling guilty about staying in situations that drain me. How many times have you stayed in situations out of guilt because you didn't like that uncomfortable feeling of guilt? So you stayed in that situation, even though you knew you are now in the chaos zone. So I'm not gonna let guilt. I'm not gonna let guilt keep me in these situations. Nope. Yep, I know, Miss Sherry, it's draining. Yes, Miss Sylvia, it is draining. So that's the control zone. Now let's move out of the control zone for just this podcast, because we're gonna get back, but we're gonna move out of the control zone into the concern zone. Remember, I said these are the things that you care about but can't control. Oh my God, today. These are the people and the situations. They matter to you. Oh, how you love them. Oh, you just adore them, but you cannot dictate their outcome, y'all. Oh my God. Real life situations. A grown child making bad decisions. They don't went out, squandered all their money. Now they ain't got the rent money, and the landlord coming to put them out. Guess what? Guess who they calling? Boop, 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 boop. They calling you. They are calling you. Why? Because they want you to bail them out. This is concern. This is concern. Why? Because we love our kids, y'all. We love our kids. I love my nieces and nephews. I love them. I love them. I love them. But this is getting in that concern zone where they're making poor decisions. And then this is a friend staying in a toxic relationship. Like, you might know some people in some bad relationships. You might have a sister or a friend or a coworker who's in a toxic relationship, and you know they're toxic. You know it's toxic, and you know they need to get out of their relationship. Guess what? That ain't your business. It's not your business. Yes, they can come and talk to you about it, and you know what? You can be a support by being a listening ear, or you can let them know, sis, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you to do what you need to do that's in your best interest in this relationship. But guess what? I'm not even going to tell you. You need to get out of that, because guess what? If you leave, don't come blaming me when you're in your bed at night and it's cold. So some people want to blame you. They'll come back later. Well, you told me to leave, and now I've been by myself for 6 months, and you got somebody laying up in the bed with you. Yep. I sure do. Even though I told you to leave, you still made that decision. But that was my fault, because guess what? I stepped into the concern zone. What's within my control? Sis, I hope you do what's best for you. That's me, staying in my control zone, in this concern zone. But remember, we in the concern zone. Now, this is a coworker who might be talking crazy, spreading false information about you, saying something that ain't true. Guess what? We ain't got no control over that. We don't. The only thing we have control over is how we respond to it. I know we want to do something. I know we want to say something. We want to clap back. We want to clap back. We want to act the fool. Oh my gosh. But guess what? We can't do nothing about that. Only thing we can do is how we respond to it. Because guess what? People be peopling, and people be doing stupid, crazy stuff. And the devil be using folks. Yes, he does. But now, them spreading the false gossip, guess what? You can, Lord, you know what? I know what they saying ain't true. I'm going to let you fight for me. Because guess what? I'm going to stay in the control zone. And then I'm going to let you handle this concern zone, because that ain't for me. Because if I handle it, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to be up here acting up. I ain't going to handle it. I'm going to let you do it, God. You got it. God, you got it. Somebody else say, God, you got it. God, you got it. So something we can't control. Oh my God. Here's another one, y'all. Ooh, waiting on a doctor's report. Waiting on a job to call back. Like, we can't make these people call us back. We be waiting. We want our results, all those things. But guess what? We just got to wait. Just got to wait. We just got to wait. Calling on people, getting on, talking about you need to hurry up. I did this the other day. Y'all ain't called me. We don't have no control over it. Guess what? We don't do nothing to make them mad, and they're going to sit up and make us wait a little longer. But that's concern zone. And then what about wanting your spouse to get some help, or go to counseling, or go talk to somebody, but they keep refusing to do so? Like, they know they needing help, but they don't want to do it. We can't make them. We cannot make them. We can't control another person's actions. We can't control what they do. We can't control what they say. We can't control how they move. We can't do it. We can't do it. These are people we care about deeply. We want them to get help. We want them to be healthy. We want them, things to be going well in their lives. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's up to them. It's up to them. And trying to control these things We're in the concern zone. We done got out of the we don't left the zone of peace, y'all. We are living outside of our control when we're in this concern zone. This obsessively checking your child's location, checking their social media. Oh my God, I heard something about a 360. I don't even know nothing about that. Folks be on there at 360, following folks everywhere they go, like obsessively checking to see where they at. Man, they grown. Come on now. They 29 years old. Like, stop. Another thing, sending these long text messages trying to convince other people to do something that's not good for them. Guess what? At the end of the day, I love you, sis. I love you, bro. But you got to live with that. Not me. I pray that it all works out for you. But guess what? I got to stay in my little peace zone. I got to stay where peace lives. You know, a lot of times, have you ever had somebody to misunderstand you or somebody to think something about you and you losing sleep over it? Can't even sleep at night, tossing and turning up and down, going over and over in your mind, wondering why they thinking that about me? Why get your rest. Get your rest. Somebody put get your rest. Get your rest. Why? You can't do anything about that. Nothing. You have no control over what people think about you and how they feel about you. Drop the rope, go to sleep, get your rest, wake up, refreshed. It's a new day. Get your sleep. Playing these conversations over and over. Like I talked about last week with overthinking. I should have said this or I should have thought. You can't go back and change that. Go on and get your rest. Get out of the concern zone. Get back into the control zone. There's a reason the control zone is small and it's in the middle. Because you don't have a whole lot that you can control, even though you think you do. A lot of times we think we got way more control than we actually do. And this is why we're so stressed. This is why we're in a tug of war. Because we don't have control over these things. Anything outside of us and our decisions and our thoughts and feelings, we ain't got no control over that. Anything concerning other people, you definitely don't. You can't control a grown person. Shoot, some of these people can't even control their little 5-year-old running the house, telling them what to do. So you know you can't tell a grown person something. So this is where you start slipping into emotional overfunctioning. You're worried and you care. This don't mean we don't care, but you're exhausted. You're exhausted. Yes, Bishop Clinton, you created a war in your mind, a tug of war. Drop that rope, because ain't nobody in that tug of war but you. You're worried and you care, but you're exhausted because you're trying to control things and you're trying to control them from a distance. Why? Because you're in the concern zone. You got to get back in that control zone. So that concern zone. So now we're going to move out of that concern zone just for a moment and talk about this chaos zone. Now, this is what I really want to talk about, because this is when you've lost your peace trying to hold it all together. You done got pulled. Have you ever seen some people? It seems like they wake up in chaos. And they ain't satisfied until everybody around them is in chaos too. Until everything is in an uproar, till somebody is arguing, until there is something going on that's negative. Like there's no peace in their life. Well, guess what? That's because they got like chaos going on up here. And they're not satisfied until they pulling everybody else into the chaos to them. But in this chaos zone, this is when you lost your peace trying to hold it all together. And so this is what it looks like when we try to fix and manage or micromanage everything. Y'all know some micromanagers, they want to know every detail about everything. Y'all, I cannot do a micromanager. Guess what? I don't need you over my shoulder every 5 minutes. Leave me alone. You done gave me a job to do. Let me do it. And so, but this is the zone where we're trying to fix and manage and micromanage everything. And then we end up emotionally scattered all over the place. Like you ever heard the term scatterbrain? Just everywhere, running around, doing everything for everybody. And then we get mad because ain't nobody helping us. Oh my God, did I just say that? We're running around here doing all this stuff, just getting involved in all of these things. And then we get mad because ain't nobody helping us. But guess what? You got pulled in this chaos zone. You need to get back in the control zone. And it also looks like being so focused on keeping the peace that you silence yourself completely. Like you so worried about other people getting upset with you setting boundaries that you just silence yourself so you don't say nothing and people just running all over you. Now you just got chaos all in your life. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna turn my back to y'all when I say this one. Living in a chaos zone looks like overbooking your life because you feel responsible for everybody's happiness. News flash. You are not responsible for everybody's happiness. You at an event and it's tension over here because Lula May and Patsy over here, they into it. They don't like each other. They done brought all kinds of tension in the room. And here you are performing like a clown in a circus, trying to make sure everybody having a good time. That ain't your responsibility. Stop it. Stop it. Go on over to the corner where they laughing and having a good time. You can go over and tell Lula May, Patsy, hey, y'all need to cut that out and go on and make that right. Because don't nobody want to be sitting here in all this foolery. Come on now. Now you do have control over that. But after you've done that, you done did your part. Go have a good time. Go on, get your fans out or whatever y'all doing. Go on and have a good time. Yep, I said it. Get your fans. Okay, so, but that is being in the chaos zone. A lot of time we trying to do this circus act, trying to make sure we're manipulating conversations because we don't want to, we're trying to avoid conflict and trying to avoid discomfort. Guess what? Some conversations are going to be uncomfortable. Guess what? But all confrontation don't have to be negative. I'm going to help somebody with that one. A lot of people avoid confrontation and stay in a chaos zone because you've got in your mind that all confrontation has to be negative. All of it don't have to be negative. You can say, sis, now look at her. Now you said that wasn't cool, sis. Okay, guess what? Who gonna get mad at you for talking to him like that? Now you go to him and say that was not right. You shouldn't have done this and that. Okay, now you probably got a problem because contempt breeds contempt. Yeah. But if you go say, sis, now girl, you better stop that. Okay, y'all can laugh about it, kiki kaka. That's confrontation, but that ain't negative. So we got to get to a place where we learn as people, it's okay to confront something. Some things need to be confronted so you can get out of that chaos zone. But and playing this emotional tug of war with people who clearly don't even want to change, y'all. Oh, wow. Did I just say that? You are in an emotional tug of war with people who don't even want to change. Like you are trying, and they done pulled you into their chaos. You doing all this stuff. You running around, you bailing them out. You trying to keep them from dealing with the consequences of their actions. And guess what? They're going right back and do it again. You know why? They don't want change. They don't want change, but they want you to bail them out. They want you to bail them out every time they do it. But they don't want to change. Oops. I just helped somebody right there. Y'all might not say it, but I know I did. You are playing an emotional tug of war with somebody who clearly doesn't want to change. You keep bailing them out, going and paying their rent. Well, you know what? This month, I'm going to help them this month. And then guess what? In that mind, if they don't change it, next month it's going to be the same thing. You're going to look up, your bank account going to be negative $250. And guess what? They're going to still be doing the same thing. On Shein and on Wish and on Temu, spending their money or smoking it up or drinking it up. And there you are figuring out what you're going to do next month for your bills. Praying, oh, Lord, give me a financial blessing. Lord, I know you ain't going to leave me out here. No, he didn't leave you out there. You put yourself out there because you in the chaos zone, trying to bail everybody else out instead of them being responsible for themselves. Oh, wow. So you're living in chaos, living in that chaos zone. And this is what it sounds like. We be telling ourselves these, boy, I ain't gonna say we be telling ourselves these lies, but we be telling ourselves some stuff like, if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. You right. Because they don't learn. You gonna do it. So they don't need to. That's chaos. Man, I just gotta make sure everybody else is okay. Okay. Yep. You keep doing that because you're responsible for everybody. Yep. I know we've been taught we got to take care of. Yep. Okay. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Living in chaos sounds like if I can't relax until I know how this going to turn out. Like I got to know everything. I got to know where I'm going. I got to know. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. We can't see. We are not omnipotent and omniscient, and we're not all of that. We don't know. And so if you think you can't relax until you know the outcome, baby, you are going to stay in chaos. You are going to stay in a cycle of anxiety. So here is the hard truth. Chaos is not your assignment. Put that in the chat, y'all. Oh, I love it. Chaos is not your assignment. Peace is your assignment. Chaos is not your portion. Peace is your portion. But guess what? You got to want peace. You got to choose to live in the control circle, not the chaos. I know it's been a minute since I talked about control, but that's that circle in the middle. And so I want to talk about now how living outside of your control zone affects you. So I'm fixing to give you some good mental health stuff. When you are living outside of your control zone, it affects you in ways you have no idea. When living outside of it, your anxiety will skyrocket because you're trying to predict and trying to prevent every possible outcome. You got your anxiety, and then people wondering why they feeling the way they do, why they're feeling on edge, why they're constantly worrying. You know why? Because you're living outside of your control zone, outside of your circle of control. This is why you're afraid something bad's gonna happen. This is why you're feeling fearful for no reason. This is why you irritable, you snappy, because your anxiety has increased. Those are all symptoms of anxiety, y'all. And then another thing that happens living outside of your circle of control is resentment starts to build. Somebody saying, "Nah, I don't resent." Yeah, you do. Let me tell you why. Resentment builds because you start to give more than you're getting. And so you're pouring. And you're expecting all these people that you're pouring into to pour back into you. You ain't going to get it from them. Trust me. So now you're mad because it's like, I'm giving. And now you're having a rough time. Ain't nobody coming to see about you. Where are these people at? I've been pouring. You're not going to get it. So now you're starting to feel resentment because you've been helping. Now you're getting mad because ain't nobody else coming to help. You feel like you're giving money. And I know we don't do things to get things. But guess what? When you are constantly pouring, eventually there's nothing left. But guess what? I want to tell you, you're responsible for making sure that you get refueled. You pouring, other people are not responsible for pouring back. You got to make sure that happens. And so resentment begins to build. And then burnout. Oh my God, has anybody experienced burnout? I'm going to raise both hands. Burnout. Burnout starts to creep in because you are mentally and emotionally exhausted, because you feel like you've been in this circus, you feel like you've been performing, you feel like you just been everywhere doing all these things. You lay down at night, you're so tired. Have you ever been so tired you can't even sleep? You sleepy, you need rest, but you are just emotionally exhausted. Somebody ought to say no more burnout. No more burnout. No more burnout. But this is what happens living outside of your circle of control. And outside of your circle control, you start to lose yourself. You don't even know who you are at some point. Like, your identity starts to get wrapped up in managing everybody else's lives. that becomes that cape that we put on, that invisible cape. We don't lost ourselves. Our identity now is running around managing other people's lives. Done lost yourself. Don't even know who you are outside of being needed by other people. What? This could be when the kids move out, and then you're an empty nester. I don't even know what to do, because your identity has gotten wrapped up in being a parent. Your identity has gotten wrapped up in managing other people's lives. And so, but this happens, managing things outside of that circle of control. And then sometimes we'll drop a bomb on somebody. You distance yourself from God when you do this, when you're outside of that circle of control. Why? Because now you're trying to play his role. You're trying to do his job. I don't want his job. I don't want to have to figure out your problem. I don't want to have to figure out your problem. I don't want to figure out his problem. I don't want to do that no more. God, you got it. That's your job. I'm going to stay in my little circle of control. I'm going to let you have it over there. I don't want to play God. I remember, I think I told this before, that I was so stressed out. I was burnt out, y'all. I was burnt out. I was over it. I was tired of people. This been a few years ago this happened. And I was just so frustrated. And I was like, man, I'm just, this one and this one and this one and this one calling, this going on. And somebody said to me, why they keep calling you? You not God. Wait a minute. I know I ain't God. I got in my little feels about that. But you know what? I got in my car when I left from there, and I was like, God, what does she mean by that? I know I ain't God. I know I ain't you. And God checked me real quick. And he said, she was right. She was right. I said, what you mean, God? I know you ain't. I ain't you. I ain't trying to be you. He said, you are not intentionally. But yeah, she's right. You are not God. He said, you're not me, but you're trying to play my role. Like you're playing my role. You're trying to fix everybody else's problem. You're trying to keep them from dealing with consequences. You're trying to make sure that everybody else is good. You're playing my role. You don't step outside of what you're supposed to be doing. You're playing my role. And as long as they keep running to you, they ain't going to come to me. That's what she means. I said, oh my God. I said, God, you got it. You can have it. I don't want to play. I don't want to do your job. I don't want to do your job. You know why? I ain't built like that. Even though we think we are not built like that. And peace and joy and rest, that exists within the boundaries of what we can control. Not what we can manipulate. Not what we think we can manage. Okay? So these are the things that happen when we live outside of our control. And then here's the kicker. Sometimes people expect you to stay in chaos because it benefits them. Wait a minute. Here's the kicker, Miss T. They want you to stay in this chaos with them because they benefiting from it. Because why? If you're the one always fixing things, then people going to get comfortable letting you handle it. Uh-oh. You know what? I love that movie Scandal. And after I watched it, I thought I walked around and I was thinking, you know what? I'm a real life Olivia Pope. I don't want her job either. I am not the fixer. I'm a counselor. I ain't the fixer. Somebody ought to put that in the chat, though. I ain't the fixer. I am not the fixer. Why? Because if you're always the one fixing things, people will get comfortable letting you handle it. And then guess what? You're going to get tired and you're going to want somebody, instead of bringing you problems, you're going to want somebody to bring you solutions. I ain't got to be the strong one. Don't bring me no more problems. Bring me some solutions sometime. Help me. And then if you're the one who keeps peace by always silencing yourself, then other people going to expect you to keep doing it. You know they doing some crazy stuff. You know they doing, but they don't want you to say nothing. Don't you say a word. They want you to zip it and just let them keep doing what they doing. Let them keep railroading you. Oh, Tyronda. Drop the mic. Mic drop. Oh my God. But I want to say this, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me good. People's comfort is not your calling. People's comfort is not your calling. Come on, that's not my calling. That is not my assignment. That is not my calling. Just because they're used to you living in chaos, used to you bailing them out, don't mean you have to stay there. You don't have to live there because they want you to live there. Now they can live in that house all by themselves. You can have it. You got it. I'm going to stay in my peace zone. Your peace is going to offend some people. But that's all right. That's all right. They are used to you being in that chaos zone with them. And so when you make the decision, you know what? I'm coming out of this chaos zone. I'm coming back into my little circle of control. Guess what? It's going to offend some people. But that's all right, because they used to you bailing them out and being in chaos with them. You know what? Somebody ought to put in the chat, I'm going to offend some people now. I'm going to offend some people. And you're not going to do anything malicious. You just going to sit in your peace. And so if me sitting in my peace offends you, dear, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm staying in my circle. You are not created to live in reaction mode, reacting to everything. Y'all know reacting is chaos. It is. It's chaos. When you're constantly reacting, is something done happen. Now I'm trying to fix it. Something done happen. I'm in survival mode. Something done happen, and I'm running around trying to fix everything. No, I'm gonna be proactive, because I'm gonna stay in my circle and I'm gonna know what's mine to fix. So you come and bring me some chaos if you want to. How you gonna fix it? Oh, well, you know what? I just, I ain't got my rent money again this month. Oh my God, sis, have you thought about where you gonna get it from? Go on and get them back their stuff. Help them help themselves. Not, oh, well, let me go in my purse and give it. You know they done been on Shein. They got some new shoes right there standing right in front of you. They're your rent money on your feet. Sis, what are you going to do? Have you thought about how you going to fix it? That lets them know, hey, I know I know that's terrible. But guess what? I'm putting the responsibility back in your lap. I am letting you know by asking you this question, you're going to have to figure it out. I love you. But I'm not going to keep getting pulled in chaos for somebody who's not trying to change. You were created to live with power, authority, and peace in your circle of control. All right. So now let's talk about how to live and stay in the circle of control. I'm going to give you some tips. I ain't going to just leave you out there and tell you about them, tell you how to stay in them. I'm going to give you some counseling sessions. Practice self-awareness. Practice self-awareness. You need to start asking yourself this question. Every time somebody come to you, bringing you some foolery. Sorry, y'all, my laptop. Every time somebody keeps bringing you something, trying to pull you into chaos, ask yourself this question. Is this my responsibility or is this just my concern? What? Is this my responsibility or is this just my concern? Remember, we got the circle of control, the circle of concern. We concerned, we care, but it's outside of our control. Then you got the chaos completely outside of your control. Is this my responsibility? Or is this just my concern? You start asking yourself that. And if it's not your responsibility and it's just your concern, leave it alone. Helping comes in different forms. I want y'all to remember that. Helping comes in different forms. And I'll tell y'all a little more about that in a minute. But start asking yourself that, practicing self-awareness. The second thing you need to do is set boundaries. And I know people don't like to hear that word. A lot of people hear boundaries and they think somebody's being mean. No, that's not me being mean. That's me standing my peace. That is me not allowing myself to get pulled in all these different directions and getting pulled into chaos. Because that's not mine to carry. I'm dropping the rope. That is not my assignment. And I know that sounds real good, but a lot of us be getting involved in stuff that is not our assignment. That is not my assignment. I'm going to set some boundaries. And I ain't just going to set boundaries with everybody else. I'm going to set some with myself too. I ain't going to let myself get involved in it. I don't care how bad I feel about it. I'm going to give it to him. Because I'm tired. Anybody else tired? You tired of getting pulled into chaos? I want peace. So you got to set boundaries. And then some people might say, well, we supposed to help people. Guess what? Jesus set boundaries. Why you don't think you need to set them? He didn't just have people running him around everywhere ragged. When he got tired, I'm done. Y'all go on over there and feed him. I'm finna go over here and rest and pray. I need my me time. I need my me time. Somebody ought to say, I need my me time. Go get your me time. Sis, go get your massage. Go shopping. Take yourself out to eat. Go see a movie. Go do something. Go do nothing. Go sit on your patio. Get your glass of lemonade. Get your me time. Set some boundaries with other people and yourself. Another thing is release your need to fix things. Oh my gosh. I know I just made somebody mad right there, but I love you. Release the need to fix everything. Some people love to feel needed. It makes them feel good. Release the need to do that. Helping does not mean handling. Helping does not mean handling. Helping comes in different forms. And sometimes helping is stepping back and letting people feel the consequences of their actions. Sometimes helping is stepping back and helping other people to help themselves. No, my rent needs to be paid and I don't have the money. And all you got is the money to pay your bills. What you gonna do? Give them yours and then be running around trying to figure out how you gonna pay yours? Wow. Well, I know you need, to pay your rent because you need a place to stay. But you know what? I heard this place over here helps people with their rent. Why don't you go check them out? Helping other people to help themselves. Helping is not handling. It doesn't mean handling. And then the other thing is, I'm fixing to tell a lot of us something that we act like we forget. Trust God with the concern and the chaos. Trust God with the concern and the chaos. A lot of us, We live in faith. We know what God can do. We know that God is all powerful. We know that God is mighty. But guess what? We have a problem trusting him. We have a problem trusting him with the concerns and the chaos. This is why we always trying to fix it. This is why we're always stepping in, trying to fix it and trying to control it, because it ain't that we don't believe he can do it. We got a problem trusting him to do it. It's taking too long. They're hurting. They crying. They on the phone. They calling us. We feel like we gotta fix it. But everything that's outside of that circle of control, put it in God's hands. That's his lane. That is not your lane. Now, if he gives you instructions, then you move. But if he don't, stay in your lane. Somebody drop it, put it back in the chat. Somebody put it in there, but you still in the, stay in your lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. I am going to stay in my lane. So you are not the manager of the universe. You are not the fixer of every broken thing. You are not responsible for outcomes you cannot control. You are called to be a support, not the savior. That position is already filled. Somebody just need to tell somebody that position is filled already. I am not the savior. I'm called to be a support. And me being a support could mean, man, that sounds terrible. I hate that for you. What are you going to do about it? Have you asked God what you need to do about it? Have you prayed about it? That's me being a support, not me being a savior. You deserve peace that isn't constantly interrupted by other people's dysfunction. Wait. Yeah, I said it. You deserve peace that isn't constantly interrupted by other people's dysfunction. Y'all, because y'all know these people be doing some dysfunctional stuff. Y'all know it's dysfunctional. You know it. But yet, we allow our peace to be constantly interrupted. They'll call. Here we go. Our day been going good. It's been peace. We allow people to call, pull us into dysfunction. Not today. You can say what you want to. I'm living in my peace, in my circle of control. Because you deserve boundaries that's not built on guilt or obligation. Nope. No more. No more. No more. You deserve boundaries that are not built on guilt and obligation. I'm not finna let you make me feel guilty. I'm not finna let you make me feel obligated. No more. That is outside of my circle of control. And you deserve to see yourself not just as a helper, but you deserve to see yourself as healed. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we live inside of our circle of control. I want to be whole, healed and whole, not just a helper. And so move back to your little circle of control, because this is where your power lives. This is where your healing begins. So I got a challenge for you this week. I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to make three circles. You make your little center circle, control, label it control. These are the things that you can control in your life. Write them down in this control circle. Your next circle outside of that control is concern. Write down the things that you care about, but now you know you can't control it. And then that third circle, I have my clients do this. The outer circle, this is chaos. List all of those things that make you feel overwhelmed, that make you feel exhausted, all of those things that are out of your hands. So anything in the concern, anything in the chaos, I'm not dealing with that. I ain't dealing with that. Nope. Choose one thing from your control circle and work on that. Work on that today. Work on that tomorrow. Get another one tomorrow. Work on another one in a couple of days from now. But choose the things in your control circle. Why? Because if I am focused on the things I can control, I ain't stressed out about the stuff that I can't. If I focus on the things that I can control, I ain't up worrying at night. If I focus on the things that I can control, my mood is better. I can sleep at night. I will have peace. Because guess what? In that concern circle, in the chaos circle, that's all God right there. You got it. And then I want you to do like I've been telling you for the last couple of days. Set aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day. Just take time to pause. Take time to breathe. Take time to remind yourself, I am not responsible for what's not mine to carry. And I'm not going to keep letting myself feel guilty about not doing God's job. So some of us will stop doing it, but then we still feeling guilty. It's like, you might as well go and do it. You're going to sit here and feel guilty about it. But guess what? When you look at it from this standpoint, I'm not responsible for what's not mine to carry. And I'm not going to feel guilty for not doing God's job. I'm going to feel at peace. Why? Because if I'm not doing God's job, then God's got room to do his job. Well, somebody ought to put, I am not doing God's job. Somebody come to you and you know good and well that's outside of, woo-wee, that's a God job right there. Oh, that's a good one right there. Drop that one in the chat. That's a God job right there. That's what you need to start telling people. That's a God job right there. Oh, man. You talking about living in that circle of control and just pray and release everything in the concern and chaos zone. Get that to God. Let God be God and you just be you. Be your loving, supportive self, but not the savior. That's a God job. That job is already taken. So I love y'all. I really do. Thank y'all so much for interacting. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Miss Alice. Hey, Segunda. If this episode blessed you, sis, please share it. Share it in these group chats. Share it in your sister circle or anybody who you know has been stuck in the chaos zone and needs a reminder to come back to peace. Yep, they might be depressed, but guess what? You are not responsible for their emotions. Helping comes in different forms. You can let them know you don't have to live in that state that you're in. You don't have to live there. Let God help you. Let God bring you back into your circle of control. Maybe you need to go talk to somebody. Maybe you need to go see the doctor. You can help other people without feeling like it's your responsibility to manage them. So send this to someone as a reminder to come back to peace. Y'all, we need peace. I know some of y'all tired. I'm tired. But I want you to send this as a reminder. So, and I also want y'all to say, follow us at the EmpowHER Experience page. And then don't forget, remember this as you go into your weekend. Peace is not passive. It's a choice. And today, I hope you choose peace because it's a choice. It's a choice. If you don't have peace, it's because you're not choosing peace. So I want to say until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep protecting your peace, sis. Keep protecting your peace. And what did I tell y'all? Some people are going to get offended because you're living in peace. But that's all right. Stay there. Peace is a choice. So this has been the EmpowHER Experience Podcast with your girl, Christy Copeland. I love y'all so much for tuning in, watching, and engaging. I appreciate you so much. I want you to have a blessed weekend and continue to pray for me. Continue to pray for each other, y'all, because we all fighting some type of battle. We all dealing with something. So have a blessed weekend. I love y'all. Be amazing today. Bye, everybody. Bye, Juanita. I love you.